Hi everyone, Michael Cavacini here with your Merriam-Webster word of the day for September 12th, 2022. I hope you're having a great Monday morning so far, and the Merriam-Webster word of the day is invective. So what does invective mean? Well, it means insulting or abusive language. It can also refer to an abusive expression or speech. For example, her opening campaign speech was to the shock of everyone present filled with invective that contrasted sharply with the expectations of those in attendance. Invective in context. Here's a passage from the Telegraph from August 20th, 2022. There's a racial aspect to the Taylor Jenkins Reid's novel Carrie Soto is back, too. The powerfully built Latina Carrie is judged very differently to the new supermodel blondes on tour. Reid includes mocked-up newspaper articles and transcripts of TV shows to illustrate the misogynistic invective that plagues her, and which unfortunately is far from historic. Did you know? Invective originated in the 15th century as an adjective meaning of, relating to, or characterized by insult or abuse. But by the early 16th century, it was functioning as a noun referring to a harsh verbal attack, and within a few decades to abusive language as a whole. Invective is similar to verbal abuse, but in addition to being a more formal term than abuse, invective tends to suggest not only anger and vehemence, but also rhetorical skill. It sometimes also implies public denunciation, as in blistering political invective. So invective is the word of the day for September 12th, 2022. I've heard the word, I've never used it. I've never actually heard another person use it either. I think most people just say insulting or abusive, they don't really say invective. To me it sounds like a journalistic term, or it just sounds more formal than abuse or insult, abusive or insultive language. I mean, I've heard like vitriol and stuff like that. But what are your thoughts? Invective, is that a word that you've used? Is that a word that you like, dislike? Yeah, I personally think it's just, I have really no feelings about it. It's kind of indifferent about it. I think it's a little, because it's not used commonly, I think it could actually confuse people if you do use it. And it doesn't really sound like what it means to me. And I think words should sound like their meaning, because if they don't, then you're going to potentially confuse the person you're communicating with. And if you're communicating with the person, you want to be as clear and concise as possible and avoid confusion. Otherwise, you're going to fail at whatever it is you're trying to communicate. So I'm not a big fan of invective. Are you? Let me know down below. Speaking of down below, you'll find a link to a great book from Merriam-Webster. If you're a word nerd like me, click that link and check it out. So thanks for tuning in for this Merriam-Webster word of the day, September 12th, 2022, invective. Hope you have an awesome day, and I will be talking to you tomorrow. Take care, and have a good one.